I believe that Ninjago's storytelling has never been better than it is now, which is interesting because less than 3 years ago, one of these show's most disliked seasons came out. So how do we get to where we are now in so little time? Today we're analyzing the rise of WildBrain Ninjago. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're checking out the 3-year journey of WildBrain Ninjago and how we got from Season 11 to Season 15. I want to preface this video by saying that I believe Ninjago has been consistently getting better over the past 3 years. We've seen this upward trend with each season just getting better than the last. WildBrain Ninjago has accomplished something truly special here that we haven't seen from any other Ninjago period. And it did start with Season 11. This was the first WildBrain season and at the time was very disliked, including by myself. My main complaints with the season was that it felt very childish in comparison to past seasons, and I think the main issue that I still have with it is the story is just not good. At times it feels very slow, at other times it feels way too fast. They just don't really nail the pacing. Beyond that, people also complained about the animation, which people felt was a noticeable downgrade from Season 10. I do like the animation here, but I think over time, the animation for WildBrain has definitely improved. Over time, both myself and I think a lot of other people have come to enjoy this season more. And I no longer see it as the worst Ninjago season. However, I still see it as a very rocky transition from the real film days. And my current rating of this season is a 6 out of 10. This season was pretty mixed. It had good parts, it had bad parts, but ultimately it was a pretty bad transition from Season 10. So hopefully Season 12 would be better, and it was. Season 12 played out like a more traditional Ninjago season, which was kind of nice because Season 10 was super short and Season 11 was super long. But the most important thing was that Season 12 simply wasn't Season 11, which in hindsight is not a fair way to judge this season. After Season 11, I think a lot of us worried that future Ninjago seasons would be very similar. And especially with the idea of Season 12 being a video game season, it seemed like that was possible, but it wasn't. Season 12 was definitely not perfect, but it was a big step up from Season 11 for many. It was kind of like a sigh of relief because Ninjago was seemingly getting back on track. While Season 11 has aged better, I think Prime Empire has aged worse because people see that this season doesn't have too much character development. My rating for this season was and is an 8 out of 10. This season is a pretty big step up from Season 11, and it is the start of this upward trend. This was when Ninjago returned to some form of stability, but wasn't great yet, I'd say. That came with Season 13. Season 13 was when Ninjago really became fantastic again. It was the best season since Season 9 in my opinion, and I think again, another step up from Season 12. The thing that it had that Season 12 didn't was deep character growth. And this was the long-awaited Cole season. Fans have wanted it for years, and we finally got it through Season 13. And this story didn't disappoint for most people. Cole's character and story in this season is fantastic, and his connection to his mother's past was a great detail. I gave this season a 9 out of 10. And honestly, it would have been fine if Ninjago had stayed as good as it was in Season 13. However, it got even better, but not until Season 14. The Island came first. Originally, The Island was expected to be Season 14, but ended up being a 4-episode special. So obviously, with this constraint, it wasn't going to be as good as Season 13. When it came out, The Island was criticized by many for being rushed and childish. And the general consensus is that The Island is pretty much just a setup for Season 14. I gave The Island a 7.5 out of 10, and I marked it in red because it's not a season. It's a special, and it's not really representative of Ninjago's quality at the time, in a way that seasons are. Then came Seabound, which was, again, another step up from Season 13. I feel like the big improvement that this season made was the ending. This was the first season in years that had a major cliffhanger, and it didn't have a happy conclusion like the past 3 seasons did. Season 14 also had a great story and focus on Nia, who was, like Cole, a character who wasn't focused much on in previous seasons. I gave Season 14 a 9.5 out of 10. It was a great season, and one that I think went the extra step that Season 13 did in having a fantastic conclusion. What they did with Nia at the end of the season was so cool, and it was awesome to see them do stuff like that after many years. And now we arrive at the present with Season 15, Crystallized. The super awesome thing about this season is the long-term storytelling. We are seeing the culmination of the Vengeance story, which started 2 years ago with Season 13, but really every season since Season 11 has been leading up to this. Crystallized is a collision of the early seasons, the Oni Trilogy seasons, and the WildBrain seasons. It's a combination of so many different eras, and one of the great things about this season's first half is that we've seen many different villains return, and they've all been great so far. What we've seen in the first half, and also what we're going to see in the second half based on the trailer, has blown me away so far. And my rating for the season is again a 9.5 out of 10, at least for the first half. And honestly, when this season finishes, I do think it'll be better than Seabound. Maybe not a 10 out of 10, but could it be better than season 14? I definitely think so. To sum it all up, WildBrain Ninjago's evolution has been outstanding. The show was in a very weak place in 2019, and now in 2022, the show is in the strongest place it's ever been. This is thanks to years of hard work, excellent writing from the creators, and I'm sure a ton of planning as well, especially when it comes to Crystallized. The last 3 years are a shining example of what all shows should strive for. Thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, share with anyone ever you know. Share your thoughts on what we discussed in this video below, and I'll see you guys next time.